Hello there, welcome back to my channel. Today is Monday, June 1st, and what a perfect day to officially welcome you to my Teacher Summer of Adventure series. And we're starting strong because today we've got a packing vlog, but not just any packing vlog.
Why didn't you pack the apple snacks?
Why didn't you pack the apple snacks?
You are gonna be packing with me to hike to Everest Base Camp. And I can't believe those words just came out of my mouth. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Okay, let's start with a little rundown of the timeline in case you're new, you haven't been following along, you have no idea what I'm talking about, or your brain is in summer mode, kind of like mine right now. But today, as I mentioned, is Monday, June 1st. Now, prior to flying out to Nepal to hike to Everest Base Camp, I'm actually competing in powerlifting nationals. So 1 week from today, on Monday, June 8th, I will be flying to Chicago, which is where nationals are being held. Billy will then come out the night of the 10th. I will compete Friday, June 12th at nationals. We will fly home together from Chicago on Sunday, June 14th. So that means Monday, June 15th will be the one day that I'm back here in Austin in between nationals and flying out to Nepal. Billy and I will fly to Nepal on Tuesday, June 16th. By the time we get there, because of the time change and layovers and all that, we're flying to JFK and then JFK to Kathmandu. We will be in Kathmandu on, it's June 18th, whatever day of the week June 18th is. June 18th is the day that we will officially start our trek. So we will meet up with our guide, go through our bags, and then be on our way. So it is a 14-day trek, ideally. And the reason I say ideally is because we are doing it during monsoon season, which is less than ideal, but it's the only time of year that we can really make this happen, being a teacher. And then also, because we are flying from Kathmandu into the Flatlay airport, that is the most dangerous airport in the world. And if there is cloud cover or other weather events, flights get canceled and delayed constantly. So things sometimes get pushed back. Now, we will cross that bridge or runway when we get there if need be. So the trip may have to get extended a little bit, but the actual trek itself is 14 days. And what I have laid out is basically 99% of what I'm gonna be packing. Now, how it works, because I have hired a local Nepalese guide, we will have a porter. So our porter will carry Billy and I's main duffel bags. Now, we will get those duffel bags once we get to Nepal. So I'm gonna be packing everything in a regular suitcase. Once we get to our hotel in Kathmandu, our suitcase will stay there. We will transfer everything to our duffel bag that the porter will carry. And then Billy and I will each have a day pack. Oh, wet wipes just fell out. A day pack. So this is what we will personally be carrying during the trek. This is a Osprey Daylight day pack. I wanna say it's the 32 liter size. In terms of weight limits, for the flight to Lukla, and then really for just general guidelines for what the porter is able to carry and then what's recommended for you to carry in your day pack. We will have 10 kilograms allotments for our duffel bag. So together the porter can carry 20 kilograms between our two duffels. And then our day pack can be no more than 5 kilograms. Technically, I could load this up heavier if I wanted to carry it while I'm hiking, but for the flight from Kathmandu to Lukla, 10 kilograms for your cabin bag or your check bag, and then 5 kilograms for the day pack. Now, for all of my American people who are like, what is that in pounds? So for the duffel bag, 22 pounds, and then for the day pack, 11 pounds. Now, Y'all know I've been doing my comments for caffeine. So this week's comments for caffeine, I wanna know, are you a light packer or are you like an overpacker? I feel like I usually pack like a good amount. I'm not really one way or the other. For this trip, it's like when I lay it all out, it looks like a lot of stuff. But at the same time, when I realize this is for a 2-week trek in Nepal toward base camp of the highest mountain in the world, it really doesn't seem that ridiculous. So I'm gonna go through, show you everything. We're gonna get it packed into some compression packing cubes, but I'm not gonna be putting it in the actual suitcase yet because I still have to pack for nationals and figure out what suitcase I'm taking for that. I'm gonna have everything packed up so that when I get home from nationals, it's already ready to go. But we're gonna start compressing it. We're also gonna have to weigh it to make sure that it's within the weight allotted, but let's go ahead and dive in. Okay, I think my plan is gonna be to like show you the item, tell you what it is. I'm gonna go through all of my clothes and then start packing them into the packing cubes. And then I'll go through all the accessory stuff. That way, while I'm packing the packing cubes, we can just chit chat about things that have been going on. So let's start with shoes. I'm bringing 2 pairs of shoes, my hiking boots. These are the Salomon X Ultra Flare. I know they're like Gore-Tex waterproof because again, monsoon season. And then these are gonna be my like tea house shoes.
The tea in Nepal is very hot.
So once we get to each tea house at night, these are what I will change into. They are the North Face. They're like insulated booty slipper type things, but they have rubber soles. So like technically I could wear these like out and about, but they're also comfortable and they will keep my feet warm. Then for jackets, I have my light down puffer with a hood. This is a Patagonia. This was one of my big splurges. I did not realize how expensive Patagonia was until I started getting some of this gear, but I also tried to shop as many sales and discounts and things as I could. I feel like I'm now on a first name basis with the folks at REI and Amazon. I can't remember the exact name of this puffer, but it was expensive. I have the option to rent. I mean, you can rent pretty much all of your equipment if you wanted to in Kathmandu, but y'all know I'm just too big of a planner that I couldn't deal with that. But if I want to rent a heavier down jacket, I can do that. Then rain gear. So these are rain pants. These are North Face, I believe, but these are designed to go over top of whatever other hiking pants you're wearing so that if it starts like downpouring, you have these to help keep you dry. They have like a zipper at the bottom so they open up easily and you can put them on over top of your hiking boots. Then we have my rain jacket. So this is also Patagonia. It is a Gore-Tex rain jacket, which again was a big splurge, expensive, but knowing that we're going during monsoon season, I felt like if I'm gonna splurge on anything, it's gonna be nice jackets because once you get wet and you're cold, you're miserable. So then I also have a poncho that will actually fit over top of my hiking bag, and my day pack has a rain cover. So in this pocket is actually a like waterproof cover that I can put over top of my bag. Then we get into the main clothing. So fleeces. I have just a fleece zip up jacket from REI. This would be a layer that I could wear out and about, but also something comfy to wear at the tea houses each night. And then I also have comfy fleece pants also from REI. These will be for lounging around the tea houses / sleeping in. If there's one thing you should know about me, it's that I get cold very easily. So even though, I mean, it's Everest, it's going to be cold, we are going during like the warmer season because it's going to be June into early July, but I also am cold when it's like below 85 degrees. So there's that. Then we have some different base layers. Now for pants, I have 3 different base layers. These are merino wool, kind of like legging pant type things. These are just the REI brand. Merino wool is really good for not only like moisture wicking, but it's odor control because you're not wearing new clothes every day. You're re-wearing the same clothes over and over again. So merino wool helps to keep it so that you don't stink. You're also not really showering. Most people will shower maybe at like Namche Bazaar and that's on like day 3. And then after that, you don't really shower. So you're gonna be smelly. It just is what it is. These are another base layer pants. These were expensive. The brand is like Arc'teryx or something. They were pricey. They were like $100, but they were one of those things that I put on. I was like, oh my gosh, they're so comfortable and they're so warm. These will mostly be for like sleeping at the tea houses. And then I also have just a very basic pair of fleece lined leggings from Amazon. Those were not super pricey, but those are my base layers for pants. And then for tops, I have a merino wool short sleeve top. And this is something I could wear like out hiking if I wanted to. I also have a merino wool long sleeve top, kind of on the thinner side. And that short sleeve one I just got from Amazon. This one is the brand Sigmund, and I think I got it from Decathlon, which I believe is actually a like British kind of hiking gear website. All right, then I have that same Arc'teryx brand of the top. So this would be a base layer top, a little bit warmer, kind of fleecy on the inside. This would be something I would most likely wear to sleep in. And that is it for base layers. So 3 bottoms, 3 tops, kind of varying degrees of thickness and warmth so that you can mix and match as needed. Then for actual like layering tops, I have just a moisture wicking short sleeve shirt. I have a moisture wicking long sleeve shirt. The short sleeve one I just got on Amazon. This Columbia one I actually got from Costco. I have been just kind of grabbing these things here and there when I could, making little orders on Amazon. Honestly, anytime since like January that I would place an Amazon order, I'd go, okay, what's like one little thing that I can add that I'll need for Everest? I've just had them on a wish list and added as I went. This I got from REI. It's a just kind of like layering top, but it has a hood. It's like a sunshade kind of top. I know I'm gonna end up refolding all of these when I put them in the packing cubes, but I'm trying to stay organized. Okay, this is another layering top. What's the brand? Outdoor Research. I got this from REI, but it was on like clearance. So thicker, kind of fleecy on the inside, quarter zip, very warm. The name of the game really is layering and being able to adjust, because there's moments where if you're in the sun, it feels warmer, and then you go into the shade and it's cooler. So that is it for tops. And then for pants, I have literally 2 of the exact same pair of basic hiking pants from Amazon. Mirror is the brand, but I actually wore these when we went to Big Bend. They're kind of like moisture wicking, water resistant type material, fast drying. That's another thing that's important, is you want items that are gonna be quick drying so that when you put it by the fire in the tea house, they can dry overnight. So I just have 2 pairs of hiking pants. Then the only other real clothing items is I do have sports bras. So this one is a merino wool sports bra. I wanna say I got this from that Decathlon website as well, but it's not the most comfortable. So I also wanted to have comfy ones. These came from Amazon, but they have like the built-in bra pads. I hate the removable ones, they're so annoying. But these ones are like sewn in, it's very comfortable, and I just have 2 of that exact same kind. And then, I know you're gonna think this is crazy, I only have 3 pairs of underwear. They're all merino wool, they will get reworn, but also, I'll be honest, when I wear like leggings and things, I sometimes just go without. So those are all the clothing items. You know what? No. Let's just go through all of it. That way, then I can pack it up while we chit chat. So sorry, I know this is long. Buffs. So a buff would be kind of like a neck gaiter, like what you would wear around your neck. You can pull it up over your nose and mouth. One of the things that people are known for getting is a cough.
That's not right. Lauren, enough with the pencils.
Just from breathing in the air, and then obviously when you're going up in elevation. So this helps to reduce that. These are 2 kind of thinner buffs that I got on Amazon. So a dark gray and a black one. And then this one is a thicker fleece one that I got from REI, because again, I get cold. Like Billy is not taking a fleece one. He's just taking regular ones, but I know that I get cold easily. So I'd rather have the little bit thicker ones. For gloves, I have 3 different pairs of gloves. These are a merino wool liner glove, pretty basic. I got them on Amazon. Then I have, these are North Face gloves, a little bit thicker, but kind of still that athletic-y material. They do have like the, where you can still touch your phone and things, but still a liner glove, but a thicker liner glove with some kind of fleeciness on the inside. And then these are my like waterproof, wind resistant thick gloves, also from Amazon. For hats, I have 2 hats and an ear warmer. So this is just a basic ear warmer. It's just like a merino wool ear warmer, just something I can put over my ears if they're chilly. This is a just like ball cap, but it's waterproof. The brand is Sealskins. I got this directly from Amazon, but I really like that it folds up like super, super small and compact. Like the brim is actually made to fold. So that's nice. And then just a Carhartt beanie. And I think it has like the lining that makes it so your hair doesn't get all staticky and whatnot. Then we have socks. So socks are again something that I would rather have extra socks, because with doing all the hiking on your feet, the last thing you want is blisters and hot spots. So I have 2 pairs of thicker wool socks. These are gonna be for the tea houses and for nighttime. Once you get, especially higher up in elevation, a lot of the tea houses do not have heat, and so at night you are very, very cold. Then for actual hiking socks, I have a total of 6 pairs. These are the Darn Tough brand. These are what I wore in Big Bend as well. Love them, super comfortable. They're pricey because each pair of socks is like 25 bucks, but your feet will thank you. So these are the I wanna say like medium weight and the micro crew. They don't come up like quite as high. They're like a little bit above ankle, but not super, super high. So I have literally 3 pairs of this exact same color pattern. And then this was just a cute color pattern with like the little forest scene, but the same type of sock. And then these are still the Darn Tough. They're still the medium weight, but they come up a little bit higher. And then these are a lighter weight, still the Darn Tough brand, still the micro crew height, but they're just a little bit thinner. And then these are gaiters. So these would go on over your boots, and they kind of create a protective barrier between your boots and your pants to help keep that area dry. Again, because we're going in monsoon season, I feel like if I were hiking at another time, I probably wouldn't get these, but because we're going in monsoon season, I did. So these are from REI. And then these are polarized sunglasses, which obviously are prescription because I wear glasses. And I've never been a sunglass wearer. I just don't bother carrying sunglasses because I don't like having to switch them out. But I did have to get these because of the snow reflection and the amount, like the exposure to the sun and everything. So had to get polarized sunnies, and those will be coming with. Okay, we're getting there. Next, we have hiking poles. These are all personal preference, but again, because we're going to monsoon season, the trails are gonna be very muddy. I got Billy and I they came in a 2-pack from Costco, so they're not super fancy, but they will get the job done. And then I have rechargeable headlamp. I have a solar powered battery pack, like phone charger. I actually have another battery charger over there, but it's gonna depend on weight and what I'm able to carry because it's heavy. Then I have a basic plug adapter. So it has all the different like universal plugs, and then it has 2 USB, a main plug, and then 2 USB-C. And our one source of entertainment is a deck of playing cards. These are actually like waterproof playing cards. They're super, super thin, but they're plasticky. And then, okay, I'm gonna have to reach over. Ooh, I have 2 Nalgene. These are the 32-ounce water bottles. So this is what you will fill up with at the tea house. Typically, you would fill it up with boiling water at night. You sleep with it, you hug it like a baby, and that's what keeps you warm. And then when you wake up in the morning, you have cooled off boiled water. Now, I do also have water purification tablets. This is like a set, so you use the main tablets and then the PA+, but 2 sets of these. The goal is to drink 3 to 4 liters of water a day. So I have enough to be able to sterilize and neutralize all of that water. And then I also have different hydration, like electrolyte packets. You wanna make sure you're supplementing with electrolytes. So this is Element. This is a like little sample pack. This was actually a gift from a student, along with one of my Nalgene bottles and some of my socks. But I actually have a whole order of Element electrolyte drink mixes that are coming today, or supposed to come today. But to change it up with different flavors, I also have, this is Liquid IV. This one I think also has energy, but blackberry lemonade. I got this at Target. It just sounded good as a different flavor. And then on Amazon, I did also get some Ghost hydration things as well. And my camera battery is dying, so let me go ahead and change that out. I also went ahead and shifted the camera just so it's a little bit easier and I can get to everything. Let's talk bathroom things since we just talked about hydration. So some of the tea houses will have like a more Western toilet. Some of the tea houses will have like a squat toilet, which I've used before, it's fine. But there also will be times where you're out on the trail and need to go, and I would just rather be prepared for many different situations. So I have a few different things. This is the less glamorous side, but it's realistic. This is a funnel for female urination. And this is, I forget the name of it. It's like a urination cloth, but it's designed so that it can be reused and then washed out, and it helps to hold odor, and it hangs on your bag, and this part like clips and unclips so that it stays sanitary. But I know it's gross, but it is what it is. Listen, I have gone to the bathroom behind a rock in the middle of the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan, and like, it's fine, but I would like to have those items just in case. I have some little things of toilet paper. These are like camping toilet paper, so it's actually missing like the inner tube so that it's more space efficient. I also have a thing of flushable wipes. I have a thing of doggy bags because, you know, take out what you bring in. And then these are compressive towels. So you add just like a couple of drops of water and the towel like expands. There's 15 in here, so basically enough for one per day. Then we have some more like medication type things. So this is an organizer that I've had for travel for medications, but it just came from Amazon. This part is just magnetic, it opens up, but I have stuffed this with all of the various things. So we've got bandages, we've got antihistamines, we've got like nighttime cold and flu, like your NyQuil. I've got fiber supplements in case things need to get moving. I've got Mucinex, I've got ibuprofen, Excedrin migraine, and Pepto-Bismol. And then I don't remember what these are.
Hello, little pill. What do you do?
Oh, see, I should not be opening because I barely got everything in here. I don't know, there's something else in there, but it's just the basic like medications. And technically, like this is in my packing list. Okay, we're not opening anything else, but I'm gonna be carrying this, but it's technically for Billy and I. Then I also have blister bandages just in case. I have Neosporin just in case. I have, this is a like high SPF lip balm. I actually have 2 of these. So in addition to my day pack, I also will have this like fanny pack that I will carry for kind of easy access. So right now, the only thing really in here in this front pocket is I have that same chapstick, so I'll have 2 of them. I have a little mini thing of spray hand sanitizer. This is a little tiny like medicine holder. So basically whatever I'm gonna need like that day, if I'm like, oh, I need some antihistamines or oh, I need some ibuprofen, I can put them in here and it's like a metal waterproof little holder. And that way it's just smaller and I can keep on me what I need. And then I have some carabiner clips because you can use those for like literally everything. I really love this Night Eyes brand. I actually have these on my gym bag, but they have these kind of locking mechanisms so you can lock it and then unlock it to be able to open and close it. So I have these in like different sizes. So I have little ones and big ones, but I will have some of these little toiletry type items like right there in my belt bag. I also have some hand warmers / feet warmers / body warmers. These are actually given to me by a student. These are body warmers. So I think I have 4 of those. And then I have, I think 8 things of hand warmers. And these will stay warm for like 10 hours. So it'll mostly be for like nighttime. You can stick them down by your feet, put them in your socks, etc., etc. I have some different throat soothing drops. So I have some Halls, then these are lemon honey, like cough drops, because as you go up in elevation, your throat can get very, very dry. I also have gum. This is just like Trident Spearmint. I also have a whole bunch of ginger candies. These can really help with nausea. And again, with the altitude, one of the symptoms of like altitude sickness is a lot of nausea. Now, our guide will be checking our oxygen levels multiple times a day to make sure that we're not getting any altitude sickness, but those will just be nice to have. Then we go on to toiletry items. So because everything gets very dry, I have just a basic thing of petroleum jelly. Also because of the sun exposure, I have like a high SPF sunscreen. Because I will not be showering very much, I have a thing of dry shampoo. I have another bigger hand sanitizer spray. They recommend using sprays rather than the actual sanitizer because it's less likely to freeze as you get higher up. I have a little hairbrush. I have a holder with some Q-tips, extra hair ties, and also a thing of tweezers. We've got floss. And then this is my like toiletry bag, but technically this is for Billy and I. We just share toiletries whenever we travel. He'll have his own toothbrush, but otherwise like we share deodorant, we share shampoo, conditioner. So I have one thing of conditioner, one thing of shampoo, one thing of body wash. Honestly, it probably won't even get used, but we'll have it just in case. Deodorant, lotion, toothpaste, and a toothbrush. And that's it for toiletries. So this will be really for Billy and I, and depending on weight, it can go in either of our bags. I have a quick dry, small like microfiber towel, and that's everything. Wow. Oh, I mean, the only other thing I have is, this is a dry bag. So this would be like change of clothes or anything within my day pack that I wanna make sure stays dry goes in here. This is a dry pouch for basically my phone, passport, etc. Now, I will also have copies of our passports just in case, like I made a copy and laminated them. I will have cash. And then I'll have some like energy protein kind of bars because you don't eat the meat going up, and I wanna make sure I'm getting substantial protein still, and then also just having energy bars. At each tea house, we will get 3 meals a day. So we will have breakfast, we'll stop for lunch, and then we'll have dinner when we get to the next tea house. But y'all, I'm a hungry girl, okay? And I worry that I'm gonna be hungry along the way. So depending on weight, I'm gonna pack a couple of like small snacks, but otherwise, that is it. Now, I have this kind of bigger Osprey pouch that's gonna house a lot of the like medications and some of my like urination things and whatnot. This is my little electronics pouch. So it has some of the other cords and things that I might need. And I mentioned that other charger, which looks like this. It's one of the high power like chargers. This thing is hefty and it's got a lot of weight, but you just don't know what access you're gonna have to electricity to be able to charge things. And typically you have to pay in order to charge things or have access to Wi-Fi, and the least amount of that I can do, the better. But that's it. I also have this little organization pouch just to help put away some of the, you know, medications and toiletry type items, some of the hydration and electrolyte sticks. But y'all, that's it. And I know you're probably either thinking, wow, that's a ton of stuff, or you're like, that's it. I feel like I keep going back and forth because I look at it all and I'm like, that's so much stuff. But then I remind myself it's a 2-week trek in Nepal and I'm hiking to Everest Base Camp. So like some of this stuff like hiking poles and gaiters, like I wouldn't ordinarily pack that for a trip, but it's necessary for this. So I'm gonna get situated and then we'll chit chat and I'll catch you up on some just general life things. Okay, so these are compressed packing cubes that are like super lightweight and thin. They're not super heavy, and that's what we're gonna use. Now, certain things like, for example, my hiking boots, when I fly from Kathmandu to Lukla, I will actually wear these to cut down on weight, but to at least get to Kathmandu, I will probably have my just like trainers, my Brooks, and then I will leave those at the hotel in Kathmandu. So for now, I'm gonna pack them in this shoe bag. Let's catch up on where we left off. So my last vlog, if you watched it, you may remember that I mentioned I had been invited to be a part of the interview panel for our new assistant principal. So I went to that on Thursday, and it was super interesting just to see the process because it was a lot more involved than I was maybe anticipating. Like there were set questions and we were taking notes on every question, and then we had to score them. And then after they did their interview with us, they had to go into a separate room and do this like performance task where they had to respond to 2 different prompts and write their answer. And then we had to score those. Y'all, I was there for 5 hours, like crazy. But I'm really anxious and excited to see, you know, the final decision, who gets selected, because regardless, I know we will be in great hands, and our assistant principal, who will now be our principal, is amazing. So I know that she will be a great leader regardless for the school, and like will just maintain a lot of those kind of traditions and things that we have. Speaking of traditions, so this was so sweet. When I was coming home from the interview panel, I actually got a phone call from a student that I taught back when I lived in Maryland. It was a 4th grader who was calling to tell me that they had graduated. Well, I had seen them a couple of years ago. So after I taught them, they moved out of state, but then I ended up reconnecting with them because their family traveled here to Austin. And so I met up with them just to see them. I don't know, that must have been 3 or 4 years ago. But it was just really nice to like hear from them and get to hear about like what they're going on to do and everything. So that was really, really sweet. And then I got home and checked the mail and I had postcards. So if you have followed my vlogs, you know that my school does this thing where as teachers, we write a postcard for every single student. We try to catch them doing something great in the classroom. We write a postcard and that student goes to the office, they get celebrated, the postcard gets mailed home, and then it shows up at their house for their family to read and be able to enjoy. And I guess at the end of the year, they had our house council members, which we have a house system, kind of like Harry Potter, and each house has house council members. So we have like speaker of the house, flag bearer, photographer. There's like different roles that the students can get voted into. And at the end of the year, they must have had the house council members like write postcards to staff members. Y'all, I opened up my mailbox. There were like 12 postcards in there. Oh, it was so sweet. And it was students that I taught last year, students that I taught this year. It was very, very nice. Also, I'm doing an awful job of like multitasking and talking and packing at the same time. But I'm gonna pack socks. Socks are an easy thing to pack. So we are getting new neighbors. We had a lady who had moved in from California, I think it was. She must have lived there for about 2 years, and then she moved out back in like April, and the house sold back in April. The new neighbors are finally moving in, ironically today. We knew they were coming though, because we noticed that their realtor had put out some things on like their kitchen island, like welcoming them to their new home. So we're like, all right, they're coming. They're coming at some point soon. So over the weekend, I wanted to prep a little like welcome gift, and I was trying to decide what to do because we know nothing about the new neighbors. We don't know if it's a family. We don't know if they're coming from somewhere else in Austin, or if they're coming from somewhere else in Texas, or if they're coming from another state. Like, we have no clue. And so I was trying to decide like what direction do I go in for the gift basket. And I went back and forth, but I also like when the gift basket is like useful. And so rather than just doing like a basket and filling it with stuff, I decided to get this like Texas shaped kind of like, I don't know, veggie tray type thing, and then fill the different compartments with things that again would be useful but are like related to Texas. So there was like a room spray that's like Texas Cozy Nights or something like that. I did some Bluebonnet air fresheners, like car fresheners, because everyone can always use those. I did an H-E-B gift card so that they can stock up on some groceries. I did a Texas sweet tea scented candle because everyone loves a good candle. I did a little coffee sampler pack. There was something else that I put in there. I don't remember what it was. Oh, a Scrub Daddy that's shaped like Texas. So I filled it up with all of those items. I got them a card, and then I am waiting to bake cookies to take over to them. It's gonna be all one big thing. Like, I made a little tag and it said home sweet home, and it's gonna have like the home baked chocolate chip cookies and the little gift basket thing underneath with the card. But they're moving in today, like the moving trucks are there. And so I wanna give them time to get settled. So maybe I'll take it over like tomorrow or Wednesday. But I did go ahead and bake up some cookies last night because yesterday was my dad's birthday. So it worked out well that I was able to like make a batch of dough. I always freeze my cookie dough, and then that way I can just pop it in the oven when I want it. So I baked up a dozen to take to my parents yesterday because they actually drove down and they met us at our favorite barbecue place here around the Austin area, which is Interstellar. Now, we've been going to Interstellar for like 4 years since basically we moved in, but they got a Michelin star back in 2024 and in 2025. And so they've really blown up, and now you have to get there like super, super early. So I had told my dad, hey, my gift to you is I will go and get there the 3 hours early to wait in line, which we were able to secure first spot in line. And then that way you can just show up when they actually open and we'll get a big spread of the barbecue so you can try everything. So that's what we did. I mean, we got brisket, of course, pork ribs, pulled lamb, sausages. We did the kielbasa and the Polish sausage, and then they had a special lamb sausage, the peach tea glazed pork belly, which is our absolute favorite. We got the zucchini salad that they have. We got the new mac and cheese, the poblano cream corn, like all of the things, the smoked scallop potatoes. But I will say the worst part is I couldn't eat any of it. This was the real sacrifice because I am gearing up for my powerlifting nationals. I'm in the last part of my cut because I have to lean down for the meet because it is weight-based and I qualified at a certain weight class. I have to weigh in at that weight class on meet day to compete. So I didn't get to have any of it. It's okay. But I dropped off the cookies as part of his gift. We did the barbecue. It was a good time. But speaking of my training, I've hit my last heavy deadlift and my last heavy squat. It was like 300 pounds, which I did just this past Saturday. Today's Monday. Last heavy squat was on Saturday. Last heavy deadlift was last Wednesday. Tomorrow will be my last heavy bench. And then I start to taper down, which means the weights and everything get lighter and I kind of give my body that rest time leading into the meet, and then that is it. I will fly out in 1 week from today and compete in basically a week and a half. So wish me luck. Now I'm planning, keyword, to vlog kind of behind the scenes of prepping for my powerlifting meet, like packing all of my gear, flying out to Chicago, a little bit about meet day. I don't want to be stressed out trying to vlog. I want to make sure that I'm present in the moment, but I thought it would be cool just to kind of capture a little bit of it so you can see what goes into it. And if you're interested, let me know in the comments. If you're like, Michelle, I don't care, then I will skip that. But I've realized I'm awful at trying to like pack, but also vlog at the same time and talk to you all. So I'm gonna cut this vlog off here, but this way you at least got to see pretty much everything that I'm packing to go to Everest Base Camp. Once again, I'm gonna attempt to capture some moments, you know, going through that process of the base camp trek, but I don't know how much I'll be able to capture, but I'll try to put it together in a vlog for you all because it is the teacher summer of adventure. So I appreciate you following along. If you enjoyed this vlog, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button and notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. As always, thank you for watching. I love you so much. Don't forget to put your positive hiking pants on and I will catch you in the next one.